Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the university's annual Venture Further Awards dinner. This is our opportunity to celebrate and showcase the entrepreneurial talent of our students and recent graduates from right across the university.
The agenda of enterprise and business engagement forms a key pillar of the university.
Venture Further is a business startup competition. It's not a beauty parade for a business plan, it's a real business startup competition. So tonight we're going to be applauding those that have what we think are the most exciting ideas that are going to take them forward into successful business starts.
There's a category for every type of business. We've seen some really impressive proposals being put forward with lots of evidence, and helps us to sort of really establish the credibility of those ideas.
As someone who put it to me better than I can, said, really, when it comes to failure, you don't have to worry about it because you only have to be right once. Because with failure comes knowledge. And knowledge, if anything, is the unit of growth. Well, early stage funding is, of course, the lifeblood of a startup. It's essential that we seed them from the very start.
The winner is Everest.
Sarah.
Mindful Store.
Invisible Manchester.
AEH Innovation Hydrogel Limited.
If people have got a little bit of a natural inkling to start a business, then the great thing about having perhaps some courses at university or onto enterprise is it might just tease out for those people that are on the edge and push them over and give them a bit of a kickstart.
These small companies are often engines for the economy. The lessons they learn now will enable them to build big businesses that can create real economic and social impact in the future.
It's overwhelming. It's fantastic to achieve this. In the short time that we've come along is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Feels very motivational and empowering. It's not even about the money, but in the sense that we received a certain validation of our business model.
Our main aim is to attract small and medium-sized sustainable businesses, and to do that we have to spend a lot of resources on marketing activities. Now we have the opportunity to get more brands into our stores and actually help more brands reach the end consumer.
I think because mine's like a product business, it's going to really be able to make me develop a concept, get some prototypes, see kind of manufacturers and get to work with materials and stuff. So yeah, really just get it off the ground running.
Every year we see the quality go up and up, but I think what also we see is the confidence go up and up. And this is a great chance for people with an entrepreneurial idea to come forward, seize the opportunity while they're in this environment, while they've got the support, and actually immerse themselves in that experience, whether that's for the learning, whether that's to start a real venture, or whether that's to help themselves find other people that they can build a team with.
Student entrepreneurship at this university isn't just alive and well, it's absolutely thriving.
Manchester Enterprise Centre provides training for students from across the university and enterprise. We consider this to be very important, and indeed the Enterprise Centre is supported at the very highest levels in the university.
Around 25% of our students are engaged in enterprise education and extracurricular activities. This is a testament to the dedication and hard work of our enterprise team.
It's so important that we realise the impact of the work that we're undertaking here in all areas, but also that our students and staff have the confidence and the support to be able to take those ideas and make things happen with them.
Without knowing how to do business, you are scared to do it. But it's not a rocket science, and this is what we try to teach people in the centre.
If people have got a little bit of a natural inkling to start a business, it might just tease out for those people that are on the edge and push them over and give them a bit of a kickstart.
I won the social category of Venture Further, which has helped me bring my ideas to life. I'm not from a business background, but I'm developing and running my own social enterprise.
It's an opportunity for them to think and cogitate on new ideas and initiatives in an environment which fosters that kind of creative thinking.
We have an opportunity now to be able to make a difference. We have to lead by example, start businesses, provide employment, and provide those benchmarks for individuals to be able to have aspirations for the future.
These small companies are often engines for the economy. The lessons they learn now will enable them to build big businesses that can create real economic and social impact in the future.
Welcome, everyone, to the 2020 Venture Further Awards. It's wonderful to have you all join us today. As many of you will know, we normally host our awards dinner in the Whitworth Hall. Unfortunately, COVID-19 has prevented us from doing that this year. However, a global pandemic is not going to stop us, and we've put together a fantastic event to showcase the amazing Venture Further 2020 finalists. I'm Lynn Shepherd, Director of the Massoud Enterprise Centre, and I'd like to welcome all my colleagues, our students and alumni, friends and partners of the university who are watching this event, and of course all those who have been shortlisted for an award. Now in its 15th year, Venture Further enables students and recent graduates from all disciplines across the university to progress their business ideas. Over 5 categories: business, creative, environmental, social and technology. The finalists have submitted detailed business plans and pitched their proposals to panels of expert judges. Yet again, the standard of entries has been incredibly high, and this year's winners will receive prize money totaling £75,000 and have the opportunity to receive support from expert groups across the university and its wider networks. This year, we received 110 entries, the highest number we have ever received. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our judges who were incredibly flexible whilst we moved the competition judging to an online format. We not only had colleagues from the university, but also our sponsors and wider support partners from outside the university. I'd especially like to thank our 4 key sponsors of Venture Further this year: Fuel Card Services, IBM, Manchester Science Partnerships, and Vita Student, who have all contributed to the success of this year's competition in so many ways. I'd also like to say a very personal thank you to our competition organiser, Ellie Buckley, and the media services team. Believe me, without their support, this online event would not be happening. Today, we are streaming live on Facebook, so please engage with us and post questions in the comments section, as there will be a Q&A session with our winners and the key speakers once all the awards have been announced. We will be showing videos of the finalists so you can get an idea of the sorts of businesses that they've pitched to the panels. And this may contain some flashing images, so please bear that in mind when watching. I would also like to remind you that if you are on Twitter, please make sure you tweet throughout the event using hashtag VentureFurtherUOM. I think you'll see that as well on our Facebook page. I am delighted now to welcome our host for the event today, Vikas Shah, MBE. I've known Vikas for many years, too many years, and I'm not even going to tell you how many years that is. And I hope Vikas won't either. Vikas is the MD of the Swisscot Group, and over his career has built many businesses across a range of sectors, as well as acting as a consultant and advisor to numerous entrepreneurs and organisations across the globe. He is a visiting professor of entrepreneurship with MIT Sloan on their European MBA programme, as well as having recently received a prestigious honorary professorship from the Alliance Manchester Business School. He's president of the Northwest Region chapter of TIE, the Indus Entrepreneurs, the world's largest entrepreneurs network, and is a respected speaker and commentator on entrepreneurship, business, and social issues. We're in good hands today. So Vikas, if I can say, the floor is yours. Over to you.
Lynn, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, and good evening and welcome everyone. It's an absolute honour to host this year's Venture Further Awards. Like so many, I was an accidental entrepreneur. I started my first business a long time ago. I was only 14, so it was a very long time ago. And the aim was to pay for flying lessons because my real dream in life was to become a pilot. But actually starting that business really made me catch that entrepreneurial bug and really get stuck into this whole new world that I'm still learning about every single day. But I'm not alone in that journey. As we sit here today, there's over 500 million entrepreneurs across the world running businesses of all sizes, and they all really matter. So let me just tell you one story. There's a particular entrepreneur, really tenacious, wanted to go to the US. He had his visa denied 8 times. And actually, it was on those trips to the US to see his then girlfriend that he had an idea. So he launched a business in 2011 to try and help people stay connected a bit better. His company was called Zoom. His net worth today is $10.5 billion. His company's worth $60 billion. And it's thanks to that innovation that we're speaking to you today. So entrepreneurs do make a difference. They do change the world. They're innovators, they're job creators, they're engines of growth and engines that power the economy. So take a look at Apple and Microsoft together in the decade alone. Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft, those 3 companies have generated over $4.3 trillion of revenue in the last decade, creating millions of jobs and huge economic benefit to the world. But it's important that even though sometimes we can be inspired by these stories of people and companies generating billions and trillions of revenue, that companies are all sizes and they all started somewhere. And who knows where those growth journeys are going to lead. And that's the really exciting thing about events like this. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce Professor Luke Georgiou, who is Deputy President and Deputy Vice Chancellor here at the University of Manchester, to address you today.
Thank you, Vikas. As always, it's a great pleasure to be at the Venture Further Awards, the 10th time for me, and the first one in bedroom slippers. The competition is part of a long tradition. The University of Manchester was founded with the support of entrepreneurs of the Industrial Revolution, with goals that included the creation of knowledge through research for material benefit and providing an education that served the business needs of the Manchester region. Today, this ethos is reflected in the leading position we have in collaborating with business, small and large, in the spin-outs and licenses we generate, in being the first choice of graduate employers, and in our commitment to social responsibility and beneficial impact on society. These reflect a culture of engagement and impact that we always wish to share with our students. As the UK's first civic university, the connection with our community has always been close. With the challenges we face today, with the levelling up of the economy and recovering from the shock of the COVID-19 crisis, this sense of place has never been stronger. We are fortunate to be at the hub of one of Europe's leading innovation ecosystems, stretching down the Oxford Road corridor and branching out to other parts of Greater Manchester and the surrounding region. Advanced materials, health, clean growth, digital and creative form the core opportunities, but there are many more limited only by the imagination of the entrepreneurs that drive them. I hope that we'll see many of the startups of the future being based in our own new Innovation District, Manchester. The Masood Enterprise Centre is the main instrument by which the university supports enterprise and entrepreneurship training. In the past year, it's been enhanced substantially by its excellent purpose-built premises in the Alliance Manchester Business School and by the consolidation we achieved last August when we merged it with the UMI-Cubed Innovation Optimizer to provide a single focal point for enterprise and entrepreneurship programs for students, graduates, and staff. Currently, it reaches some 25% of our large student population. Innovation and enterprise are core to the university's new strategy, Our Future. This raises our ambition to ensure that all students have the opportunity to engage with enterprise during their studies, such that entrepreneurship is a defining feature of the Manchester experience. I referred earlier to the current crisis. Some would think that this is a bad time for the startup companies that we'll shortly be hearing about. There are many stories of venture capital retrenching and public finances stretched to breaking point. I would say to our entrepreneurs that amid that chaos, there is also opportunity. The greatest economist of innovation, Joseph Schumpeter, spoke of the gale of creative destruction that sweeps out the old economic order to make way for the new. The great majority of our finalists this evening have their finger on the pulse of new social trends and values. They find insights on demand or on the potential of new technologies and business models that more established businesses cannot see or do not want to see because it threatens their entrenched interests. Many successful companies were founded and grew out of the last recession of 2008-9. The fittest and most innovative will surely emerge from the current turbulence as tomorrow's leaders. I greatly look forward to hearing a new set of brilliant business ideas from today's finalists, and even more to seeing them progress to scale up and success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luke. It's always inspiring to hear from you, and thank you for your leadership and your perspectives today. It's sometimes said, and sometimes, you might think it's an overused phrase, but Manchester really is, a place of change. And it's those collisions of, academia and wealth and art and all those things that mean that Manchester's been the birthplace of some of the most significant civic, entrepreneurial and social advancements in history. And that's why it makes me particularly proud to be a Manchester alumnus. Now, before we go on to the awards section of the evening, I'd like to introduce you to a previous Venture Further winner, Scott Martin. So Scott's the founder and CEO of Recourse AI. He won the digital category in 2018, and his success in the Venture Further competition has led him to secure private investment for the company during his final year of medical school, which is no mean feat. He went on to raise over £450,000, including national government grants. And Scott's here today to share a bit about his experience of the competition and the development of Recourse AI. So thank you, Scott, for taking time out from saving lives to join us today.
Thank you, Vikas, for that very kind introduction. It's fantastic to be able to say a few words this evening, especially given how supportive Manchester Enterprise Centre has been for myself and for us on our journey. So let me take you back to about 3 years ago, when I was sitting my medical school exams, actually being graded by a senior consultant position as I interacted with a real patient. Every day leading up to this, myself and my friends, we would be acting out these scenarios. One of us playing the role of a patient, the other playing the doctor attempting to reach the diagnosis. The alternative was to be in the real hospital ward, which of course is high risk and high pressured. So one day when I think I was playing the role of a 66-year-old male with abdominal pain in my bedroom, I was thinking, there must be a better way. Luckily, though, I was able to pass my exams that year and made the wisest decision, actually, to go straight into the Amazon rainforest in Peru and see if I could help out there in some of the rural communities. And it was there that I actually saw the huge impact that the lack of healthcare training had, and made me ask a few questions, such as, why can't we train skilled healthcare professionals in different parts of the world equally? Why are we limited by geographical location? Is there a way that we could simulate a medical consultation using AI-based virtual human patients? That way we could ensure that everyone could have access to high-quality training, including me. And I would have to, unfortunately, stop playing the role of a 66-year-old patient in my bedroom. But because of that, I made a promise that when I got back to the UK, I would work on this idea. So what I did was I started an intercalated degree at Manchester Business School. And every night, every weekend, I was working in my office, also known as the Alan Gilbert Learning Commons, with my co-founder as to try and get our product developed and get some user feedback. We made the decision to apply for Venture Further, which in hindsight was a great decision. And I still remember my nervous excitement waiting in the awards ceremony in 2018. That I'm sure some of the contestants are feeling similar tonight. So I don't think I'd quite believe you if you would have told me that the journey that we would have gone on since that day. We've been very lucky to have secured, as Vikas mentioned, some national grants, as well as raising our first seed round of investment. This culminated with us actually pitching at Buckingham Palace last year. And yes, I managed to graduate as a doctor, which was fantastic too. So really, we owe massive thanks to Venture Further and MEC that actually during this challenging time for education, for medical schools, for students, we have actually been able to support training during the global pandemic and enable clinical learning remotely through our virtual human-based technology, and we're very proud of that. And moving forward, we think that education will emerge stronger from this situation, and we hope to contribute to that moving forward. So yes, to all of the talented founders and builders tonight who are waiting for that result, win or lose, being simply involved in this competition, you're set for an upward trajectory here. And I would encourage you to use that momentum, capture it, because that will help you eventually achieve your vision and also get people around you along the way. You will, of course, have a few failures, but remember that you only need is one success to make up for hundreds of those failures. And don't forget to of course, enjoy the journey, because that is really the reward, isn't it? So just a final word of thanks to Manchester Enterprise Centre and the support that they've given myself and Recourse. And best of luck to everyone tonight. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Scott. And like so many entrepreneur stories, Scott's is one of a pivot where maybe you chose a course in life and there's an idea that you just can't put down that turns into a business, and that business changes your life and hopefully changes so many lives in the process. But now it's that moment that everyone's been waiting for as we move towards the awards. So after receiving over 100 applications to the competition, the applications were shortlisted to just 4 finalists per category, which, believe me, was not an easy task. And to explain a little bit more about today's awards, we're going to run through the 5 categories in the following order. We're going to start with business, then go to creative, environmental, social and technology. And I'm delighted to say that we've got guest announcers with us for each category who'll talk us through the finalists for each category, and we'll see a short video about them. The runner-up will be announced first, followed by the winner. And don't forget that the winners will be able to say a few words, and they will be joining us for the Q&A a bit later. And after the awards section of the evening, as I mentioned, we'll have our guest speaker, and that Q&A, And then also, whilst this is all happening, have a think about what you'd like to ask as well, and post those questions either, as Lynn said, using the hashtag or on Facebook or on the stream. Now, let's get to it. I'd like to introduce you to our first guest announcer of the evening, Tom Wren, who's the Managing Director of Manchester Science Partnerships. So Tom, please get us started with the business category finalists.
Thanks, Vikas, and thank you for inviting me to present this category. Once again, Manchester Science Partnerships are delighted to be sponsoring Venture Further in 2020, and it's great to see that the awards event is still proceeding despite this slightly challenge of the pandemic. In the business category, we have 4 wonderful finalists, and they are Around You, Echelon Health, Everything 3D Printing, and Spice Story. We have a little film that's going to tell you a bit more about those finalists, and then we'll get on to the winners.
Students struggle financially at university, unable to find flexible, meaningful work, even from temp agencies. At the same time, businesses that use temp agencies often get low-quality workers, which increase their costs and inefficiencies. Around You allows students to find flexible work at the touch of a button by directly connecting them with hospitality businesses across the UK. The app has a developed rating and reference system that empowers ambitious students to take control of their futures and build a positive reference profile. This ensures flexible work and real CV building opportunities.
16 great British pounds. That's how much it costs to get asthma inhalers in Nigeria, a country where 13 million people struggle with asthma every year. Echelon Health, my business, is a conveyor belt for generic asthma inhalers produced in the UK to be sold in Nigeria at half the market price of £8. This will improve access to asthma inhalers for an additional 1 million patients. My name is Arinze. I'm a pharmacist and a PhD student at the Alliance Manchester Business School.
Hi guys, my name is Jay and I'm the founder of Everything 3D Printing. 3D printing is a really hard industry to get into, especially if you're a startup or an SME looking to bring a product to market. At Everything 3D Printing, we want to take our client through the entire consult, design and print additive manufacturing lifecycle by creating a network of 3D printing hubs across the UK, making 3D printing accessible.
Do you think ready meals are unhealthy and do not know what goes in them? Do you think there are lack of options while buying Indian meat-free ready meals? Well, not anymore. Hi everyone, I'm Rajul Shukla, founder of Spice Story, and we are on a mission to educate our consumers that ready meals can be natural and healthy. We are an authentic and sustainable food brand which provides frozen Indian ready meals to our busy consumers. These meals are cooked in the kitchen by our chefs and are meat-free. These meals will be available online as well as major supermarket chains in the future.
Incredibly hard for the judges to choose both the runner-up and the winner, but of course they had to select two companies, and so the runner-up in the business category is Echelon Health, Arins Equem. Congratulations, Arins! What a fantastic idea! And so we move to the winner of the business category, and this is Spice Story, Rajul Shukla. And we have Rajul with us.
Hi everyone. Thank you very much, University of Manchester and Masood Enterprise Centre for this opportunity. I am so happy to receive this award, and I would like to thank Ellie And Martin, Jonathan, Jessica, Laura, Lynn, everyone for always supporting me with the Kickstarter fund and with the everything. Thank you very much. And I would like to thank my family and friends. And I'm looking for any contact in the food industry, manufacturing, branding, marketing, or logistics. Please contact me. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much, Rijal. Congratulations. And if anybody wants to contact Rijal after the event, do get in contact with the Masood Enterprise Centre and we'll put you in touch. And also massive thanks to Tom for announcing there. I'd like to now introduce you to our next guest announcer, the incredible Ellie Buckley, who is our very own competition organizer and enterprise business development executive at the Masood Enterprise Centre. So, Ellie, would you please do us the honours of telling us about the creative category finalists?
Oh, thanks for the lovely introduction, Vikas. I'm delighted to present the creative category this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure to organise the competition this year, and it's been a real privilege to be able to work with such entrepreneurial students. As people have mentioned, COVID has certainly tested our finalists this year, as well as the judges and indeed myself, for that matter. But everyone's done such a fantastic job in pulling together to bring this competition to its conclusion in tonight's awards. So a huge thank you to everyone who's been involved. Anyway, so to outline the creative category finalists, we've got 4 in this category again, and they are Blue Shoes Productions Limited, Kelly Green, Skybox, and That Muslim Tourist. And we've got a film of the category finalists to tell you a little bit more.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi, I'm Liam.
I'm Jake, and we are Blue Shoes Productions, a socially responsible production company that offers to give a platform to underrepresented voices in society.
We focus on documentaries, but we create a variety of content from podcasts to promotional videos. We also film live events like music and theatre, and we work specifically with organisations that promote social responsibility.
As filmmakers, we know the impact that art and digital content can have to raise awareness of particular issues. We aim to have a positive impact on our society with every project that we undertake and bring about real change.
I'm Kelly, and my business is a unisex clothing brand called Kelly Green. Society's attitudes towards gender are freer than ever, but fashion remains divided by gender, reinforcing outdated gender stereotypes. Kelly Green wants to solve this and disrupt the industry by being an inclusive unisex clothing brand, using co-creation to design and develop products that the customer truly wants. As well as this, Kelly Green will be environmentally conscious, operating as sustainably as possible and promoting slow fashion, creating thoughtful clothing for people and planet.
My name is Luigi, and I am one of the co-creators of Skybox. We have created a mobile game that allows you to travel through time and space. Imagine being able to go to a galaxy far, far away, go to the deepest place in the ocean, or even go back in time and experience how dinosaurs dominated the Earth. Our mission with Skybox is to combine gaming, education, and immersive technologies to help the next generation of learners to better engage with the history of the digital and the physical world.
Hello, my name is Mohammed Rahima, and I am the founder and owner of That Muslim Tourist. That Muslim Tourist is a media platform dedicated to sharing quality Muslim travel content, as well as tourism product information that will help the Muslim audience. Many travel companies provide Muslim-friendly tours and experiences. However, it's very hard for the customer to be able to differentiate between them. So for myself, starting off with Instagram, I currently have over 21,000 followers that I've built over the last year and a half in terms of a Muslim audience. Using my Instagram page, I'm now looking to establish a media platform where I'll be able to share different types of content for the Muslim audience. But also, using a unique Muslim travel rating system, I'll be looking to share information that will help them differentiate between the different products that are out there.
So this was one of the most competitive categories this year, and I know that the judges found it extremely difficult to select a runner-up and a winner. However, they did manage to make a decision, you'll all be pleased to know. So the runner-up in the creative category is Skybox Luigi Dintrono. So congratulations, Luigi and Yang. It's a wonderfully creative and innovative idea, and I really can't wait to see where it goes. It's incredibly exciting. But on to the winner. So the winner in the creative category is Blue Shoes Productions Limited, Alexander Deniston.
Hello.
Congratulations to our runner-up Skybox and to our winner Blue Shoes Productions Limited. Alex, as winner of this category, I'd like to invite you to just say a few words on behalf of yourself and your fellow team members, Jake and Liam.
Hi, I'd just like to thank all of our friends and family for all the support and watching endless film drafts over and over again. I'd like to thank the university for all their support at the Enterprise Centre as well, specifically to Ellie, Sophie Everest and Ian Scott who helped get the project off the ground. And we'll be using this to try and represent more underrepresented voices across Manchester and the North West. So thanks very much.
Congratulations, Alex. You know, what a brilliant idea. And I'm really excited to see what you and your team do next. And also thanks to Ellie for announcing that one. So now on to our third category of the evening. And I'd like to introduce you to our next guest announcer, who is Chris Bradley, Group Head of Sales for Fuel Card Services. So Chris, welcome, and we're looking forward to you introducing our environmental category finalists.
Thank you, Vikas. So we've got the environmental category, and it's been a great honour for us to also Fuel Card Services to present the category, but also to sponsor this year's Venture Further Awards. So in our category, there have been 4 finalists again. There are Catalyte Wastewater Solutions, eAgri, High, and the Green Energy Guru. So here's a short film just to tell us a little bit more.
Hi, I'm Nitin, and we are Catalyte Wastewater Solutions. As human activity drives our planet to its limit, the shortage of clean drinking water urges us to build a more sustainable industry urgently. Our business provides a lower energy consumption solutions for wastewater treatment companies by designing and producing tailored solutions. The technology uses natural sunlight as a driving energy and our novel photocatalyst material as an accelerator to boost the chemical reaction and purifies the wastewater itself.
eAgri's Pocket Agronomist is a user-friendly system which uses advanced imaging to increase agricultural productivity for farmers and reduces greenhouse gas emissions for the planet. Currently, in order to protect their yield, farmers accept the financial and huge environmental impact of extreme over-fertilisation of their crops. Our product eliminates this sacrifice. We have developed a machine learning system which detects disease and nutrient levels from multispectral images, providing powerful data insights so that the user may easily and accurately apply correct nutrient balance to plants.
Farming has never been easy, and more so with the current political uncertainty and the ongoing threat of climate change. Farmers need to be ready to tackle this issue. In High, we make potato growth potential a reality, avoiding harvest losses while identifying the root of the problem. We deliver accurate information on harvest timing to maximize our clients' profit, not only by avoiding harvest losses, but also by ensuring that they get the best quality out of their harvest. Our goal is to help the global farming community tackle the current food security challenges.
Hi, I'm Finn and I'm the founder of the Green Energy Guru. Did you know that there are only 40 electric vehicle car chargers available to the public on average per 100,000 people in the UK? This means that a lot of people are going to have to start charging their electric vehicles at home. We want to allow people to compare the prices of electric vehicle car chargers in addition to other sustainable home improvements such as solar panels and heat pumps to reduce the price and encourage people to make the transition towards a cleaner and more sustainable future.
So I must say that all of these entrants were all brilliant ideas. I can't tell you how impressed I was by each and every one of them. They all had such strong ethical merits and value, but also such strong and effective business plans as well. It's made judging them so incredibly difficult. But as always, with any competition, we did need to come up with a winner and a runner-up. So first of all, I'd like to announce the runner-up in the environmental category, and that is Catalyte Wastewater Solutions, and that's Knitting Zeng. So a massive well done. Again, we can only have one winner, so I'll need to now go on to the winner of the category. And the winner is Hi, and that's Diego Corona Lopez. Well done, Diego. Outstanding work.
Thank you. I want to sincerely thank the Masood Enterprise Center for honoring me with this award. And I especially want to thank my teammates, Andrea and Charles, whose genuine wisdom and great wit have been instrumental in developing the idea behind Hi. And I look forward to our path ahead in bringing this idea to farmers across the globe and help tackle the food security issues that we are currently on. Thank you again.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Diego. What a fantastic business, and wishing you the very best of luck for the future. And we're looking forward to seeing how you progress. And thank you so much to Chris for announcing that category. I'd like to now introduce you to our next guest announcer, Dawn Williams, who's the head of marketing for Vita Student, who will be introducing our social category finalists. Over to you, Dawn.
Thank you for the introduction, Vikas. I'm delighted that we're all here today together. I'm delighted to be presenting the social category. Vita Student have been heavily involved in supporting the Venture Further competition this year, and hopefully some of the finalists and people watching tonight have made it to a few of our startup talks. We've held those across campus and at our Vita Student Hub in Manchester, so I hope you all made it to some of those, and we hope to do lots more of those in the future together as well. So in this category, there are 4 finalists: C+ Wellbeing, Electric Bazaar, Generation Purple, and Tattoo Nurse. So here's a short film just to tell you a little bit more about those finalists.
We are Tiffany and Renee, and we are passionate about well-being. Our business, C+, is a transformative growth business for Chinese international students studying in the UK. We help them combat and prevent mental health problems by offering self-development trainings and opportunities.
C+ has great emphasis on resilience and strength building, such as orientation to the UK and bridging between studentship and work. We believe that our clients can attain transformative growth and global land and lead a happy life in the UK.
Hi, I'm Shamima, one of the co-founders at Electric Bazaar, an ethical clothing and jewelry social enterprise. We empower talented artisans in Pakistan who are from low-income communities by sustaining their craftsmanship and providing them with a workload to produce modest, contemporary clothing pieces. Our main aim is to move away from fast fashion and its dangerous environments for workers.
someone from an underrepresented student community, I can only assure that diversity is a huge challenge facing the UK graduate recruitment industry, with over 76% of the UK graduate employers failing to meet diversity targets. My startup Generation Purple aims to enhance diversity in graduate recruitment through digital initiatives. Our mission is to make workplaces accessible for students from underrepresented communities. We're just hoping to create a world that's equal, diverse, and inclusive.
In Uganda, a single nurse has an average of 40 patients under her care every single day. As a result, nurses are burnt out and a number of patients deteriorate or even die. At Tattoo Nurse, we build technologies to make the nurse matter by providing them with the right information at the right time so they can act promptly and save more lives. Tattoo Nurse, make the nurse matter, save lives.
What an incredible selection of businesses, all of which have a great social purpose at the heart of them. Again, I believe this was a really difficult category to judge as all the finalists had fantastic social missions. So we'll start with the runner-up first. The runner-up in the social category is Electric Bazaar, Shamima Konat. Congratulations, Shamima and the team running Electric Bazaar. I believe Alicia and Shamima, you've had so much social impact so far. It's a brilliant initiative, and I'm sure everyone will be really excited to see how your business grows. So without further ado, on to the winner of this category. The winner in the social category is Tattoo Nurse, Samuel Mugisha. So congratulations to our winner. Samuel, the winner of the category, would you like to make a word on behalf of you and your family members?
Thank you very much for organizing this. I want to thank my team, I want to thank my family, and I want to thank the sponsors of the Equity and Merit Scholarships that gave me the opportunity to study from Manchester. This award goes to the nurses. They are our heroes, and we'll work to support them. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Samuel. An amazing initiative. You know, you're a great entrepreneur, and thank you very much to Dawn for introducing that award. I'd like to now introduce you to our final guest announcer for the categories, Martin Spink, who's the Programme Director of the IBM UK research team at Daresbury Labs. So Martin, please join us to tell us about the technology category finalists.
Thanks for that, Vikas. I'm delighted on behalf of IBM to present the technology category this evening. Judging, as with all the categories in this one, was extremely difficult, especially in the light of the pandemic that we're all living through at the moment. But they all did an absolutely fantastic job putting together their pitches and the applications. In the technology category, the four finalists are Feed, Occuflow, Puzzlebot Systems, and Stressless. And here is a film of the category finalists to tell you a little bit more about themselves.
Hello, my name is Matthew. I'm a PhD student at the University of Manchester, specialising in the 3D printing of human organs, and I'm the founder of Feed, one of the world's first 3D food printing companies. Have you ever eaten something that's been 3D printed? Maybe a chocolate dessert with moving parts, or spinach pasta dinosaurs made by your children. Consider a synthetic protein jelly that releases vitamins as it dissolves in your mouth. That last one we could use in care homes or innovative restaurants. And those are just the sorts of things Feed are trying to create. It's the food of the future. See you there.
Hi, I'm Simon from Occuflow. The issue that we're trying to solve is the rebalancing of energy networks in the face of changing energy demands and generation. Our business is addressing the low availability of data from within utilities networks about the flows within those networks. We do this with low-cost, low-impact sensing solutions that can be installed directly into underground networks easily with minimal disruption. To do this, we provide a range of sense solutions, installation tooling and data products to capture this new data in a meaningful way. The impact of this will be more energy efficient networks that can more heavily utilise intermittent renewable sources and supply more energy intensive demands.
Hello, my name is Mario Martinez. I am the CTO of Puzzlebot Systems. Currently, there is no single robotic platform that can be used by hobbyists, students, professionals, and researchers across the full learning and prototyping cycle. The current offer is dedicated to specific market segments, making robotics not widely accessible. Puzzlebot aims to create the world's most accessible platform for robotics that can be used from entry-level tutorials to professional and research-level prototyping. Embracing the concept of robotic democratization, we offer a user-friendly, versatile platform with advanced capabilities along with robotic courses at a widely accessible price point.
Do you remember the last time you were so stressed? What do you do? Did you mindlessly scroll through social media or binge watch YouTube? Did that work? Or did you even try one of those meditation apps? And did you have the patience for that? I definitely don't, and that's why at Stressless we build neuroscience-based smartphone games for managing stress. These are easy, fun, and entertaining games where the longer you play, the more relaxed you become.
I think we can agree that there are some incredibly interesting businesses in this category, and I really look forward to seeing how they all progress in the future. So without further ado, the runner-up in the technology category is Occuflow, Simon Langdale. Congratulations, Simon, a great instance of technology advancement. And so on to our winner for tonight in the technology category. The winner is Stressless, Nikhil Kurian Jacob. Congratulations to our runner-up Occuflow and our winner Stressless.
Thank you, Nathan, first of all. First of all, I want to thank Nathan, who helped us last year with all the marketing stuff. Big thanks to you. I also want to thank the whole Innovation Optimizer team, Ellie, Jess, Laura, Tony. You supported us like right from the start of the journey. Thank you so much for that. And more recently, thank you, thank you, the AME team, Accelerate Me team, for all those energetic events you put up. And it was really exciting. And I really look forward to using this prize and literally venturing further. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. And congratulations. You know, it's a fantastic business. I've had the pleasure of trying your product in the VR environment, and it's really impressive. And we're very much looking forward to seeing how your business moves forward. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our runners-up and winners for this year's Venture Further 2020. Thanks for joining us in the virtual Whitworth Hall for that. And congratulations to every single finalist. And if you have the chance to look through the businesses that are there, you'll agree that all those entries are just fantastic. And actually right now, probably more than ever in recent history, we need the power of entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is going to be the tool that helps us to solve some of the world's most pressing challenges, whether it's in health, whether it's in society, and in all aspects of our lives. And we're really proud that so many entrepreneurs who are coming through Manchester University do have that in the heart of what they're hoping to do. Now, before we open to the Q&A with the winners and our guests, I'm delighted to introduce our guest speaker for the evening, who's Andy Stanford Clark. Andy is IBM's Chief Technology Officer for the UK and Ireland. He's an IBM Distinguished Engineer and Master Inventor with no less than 40 patents to his name. He's got a long background in the Internet of Things technology space. He's a corporate entrepreneur, an innovator, and a serial problem solver, which is very appropriate for today's times. So Andy's going to share with us some of his thoughts on innovation and entrepreneurship, and it's going to be really, really interesting. So do stay tuned for that. So without further ado, I'd like to pass over to Andy. Floor's yours.
Great, thanks, Vikas. That's fantastic. Seeing all the entrepreneurship today and hearing people, the enthusiasm and the passion for these inventions really gives me great hope for the future. This is tremendous stuff, and see that spark of innovation happening is just amazing. I want to talk today about disruptive technologies. We all dream of waking up one day, getting in the shower, and having a flash of inspiration that leads to setting up a company which becomes the next Airbnb or Spotify or Facebook or Zoom. But it doesn't work that way. You don't set out to be a disruptor. As with most of the inventions that I've created, you see a real world problem or need, and then use current technologies to create a solution for that use case. As an example, I'm excited at the moment by the notion of omnimodal interaction and what sort of infrastructure we need to support that. What do I mean by that? Today we talk about having responsive web designs that work on laptop, tablet, and mobile. Omnimodal takes us to another level, maintaining session state across a whole range of different device types and interaction modes. Let's have an example. Imagine an online shopping experience in an omnimodal world. Let's say I want to buy some new clothes. I start off on my laptop, browsing the web as normal. Maybe I want to go for a walk, so I switch to my mobile and carry on where I left off there, still browsing and exploring and putting things in my basket. Say I want to check the trolley contents on my smartwatch. I might want to review the selections on my smart TV in nice 4K high definition. Maybe from my car, I talk to an advisor on color combinations that might work for me. Still part of that same shopping experience. Voice technology is a huge enabler, whether it's centralized like the Amazon Echo or actually embedded in the device we're interacting with. We're now getting more used to just talking to the thing we want to interact with or control. I think augmented reality and virtual reality are going to be real game changers. VR has only quite recently crossed a tipping point where the headsets are both affordable and you don't feel sick when you use them. This is a major obstacle to widespread adoption, but now we're there, so we can start doing some of the cool things we've dreamed of for so many years. So I finish off my clothing transaction with a fully immersive VR experience, looking at an animated avatar of myself wearing the combination of clothes I've chosen. The transaction's concluded. Of course, payment's completely frictionless and automatic by now, and the new clothes arrive at my house the next day. The word disruptive is a useful term as it conveys the urgency that's crucial for survival in the current technology landscape. Anyone who thinks these big technology shifts, and there are many, are just passing trends that they can follow at their leisure is going to get very quickly left behind. So if you're just setting out to create that startup or a new business idea, what should you do? Rather than trying to be a disruptor per se, my advice would be to keep an open mind. Think laterally about what disruptive technologies you might be able to put to good use, and above all, listen. Follow the right people on Twitter. Carve out some time to read a technology journal or two. When we can, again, attend some technology conferences and talk to people there. And the main thing, listen to the teenagers. They'll probably be already using the next big thing before you even know it exists. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andy. That was really, really interesting. And it made me remember a quote from the late, great Arthur C. Clarke, who said that any sufficiently advanced technology will be indistinguishable from magic. So perhaps your actual job role should be chief magician at IBM, because some of the stuff you're working on there is truly astounding. But in terms of our awards and speakers, we've come to the conclusion of that portion of our afternoon, and we really hope you've enjoyed everything so far. And we're going to now head into the Q&A. It's been great to see a variety of questions that have been coming through for Lynn, Scott, Andy, the winners, and myself. And so the Q&A will start in just a minute or two. So just bear with us whilst we set up the Q&A platform, and we'll be right back with you. Great. Welcome back, everyone. So in the background, we've been assembling all of our winners, Scott and Andy, together for the Q&A. So Lynn, can I hand the floor to you to ask the first question?
I hope everyone can hear me. And thank you. I would like to say a big thank you, Vikas, for being such a sterling host of the event today. It really has gone so well. Thank you so much. And obviously to our speakers again, who gave such inspiring talks, and congratulations to the winners. So to start the Q&A, I've been asked to ask a question to Scott. So Scott, if you're okay for this, my question is, during your because you won Venture Further, how do you feel that helped prepare you for being a startup founder?
Thanks for the question, Lynn. And again, yeah, well done to all of the winners tonight. Yeah, so actually, I feel the act of preparing for the Venture Further competition itself is a great it's a great task in getting your pitch deck together in good shape. Even the feedback from the judges, your business actually, travels quite a bit during that process. And then, yeah, in terms of after the competition, it's a huge amount of confidence. It's a huge amount of it's not just you who believes in your idea and your co-founder, perhaps. You've got the backing of, an amazing university, and of course the money helps as well to definitely take those initial steps in making your vision a reality, and the people that will come around you as well and want to support you in that. Again, it's all about the team. So for us anyway, those were the really valuable elements. If we had to put our finger on a few.
Thanks, Scott. I think one of the most interesting points you made there was this issue around your pitch deck, or your story, your business, your idea, which does change slightly as you move forward, and it's constantly being aware, particularly as you go through those conversations with potential customers. So I think it's being open to those sort of changes and making them as you move forward. So yeah, no, I think that's a really good answer. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. And actually, I've got a question for Andy now, because, Andy, during the course of your career in innovation, you've been right there at the forefront of developing disruptive technologies. What have been some of those really surprising moments, or those really, unexpected discoveries that you've had through the course of your career?
Well, I think it's really the serendipitously stumbling across upon a solution. Quite often the things I invent, as I mentioned earlier, are problems I see in the real world. And I'll sit there sort of mulling them over for a while, and some of my best inventions happen in the shower. So quite often in the shower, and that's like sensory deprivation, a flash of inspiration will come to me, and quite often it'll be the cross-fertilization of an idea from a completely different domain. Someone I happen to have been talking to about something completely different the day before was suddenly, I could use that over here. And it's that sort of moving stuff between domains that really feeds the innovation process.
Wow. No, thank you so much for that. And I think next, I think Lynn had a general question for all the winners, actually.
Yeah, I do, and I don't mind which of the winners. I'm really interested to know what inspired you to develop the business. So I don't know whether anybody wants to put kind of a hand up to answer. What inspired you? Rijal, you've got your hand up. Rijal, what inspired you to develop that business?
Well, to be honest, it's my grandfather. He passed away in 2019 December when I started my degree, and he was the one who actually sent me over here to do my master's. And we literally had no money when he started his business, and I was inspired by him, like how he actually worked, and from zero he became our company became one of the biggest company in the state I live in, India. So I was very inspired by him, and that is what I thought, if he could do it, I can do it too. And that is what has been the pushing, the force for me.
Rijal, having one venture further, I'm sure you have the opportunity now to do that. Anybody else who about the inspiration from the idea? Anyone? Nicole, yeah.
So mine's a bit less dramatic. Mine's literally my lab mates. Like it started when in my first year of my PhD in Manchester. And there was this group of students, Ellie, Sid, Mira, they're gone now, but they were very entrepreneurial themselves. And that energy like really rubbed off on me and made me want to try it out. And it just took off from there. So it's just friends, really.
Well, you all now have the chance to make great success of your business. I noticed a question came in on the Facebook chat. Vikas, do you want to ask that question of Andy or?
Yeah, thanks, Lynn. So we've got a question from Josh Robson. It's a question for Andy. So Andy, from Josh, where do you see blockchain technology playing a role in the future of our society?
Interesting. Yes. So I think blockchain's had a bit of a bad press along the way, but what we're seeing now are some genuine use cases where blockchain is actually genuinely more useful than just using a database. And that's always the challenge. Should I be using a database, or is this an application for blockchain? And the applications come in cases of custody transfer, where things are transferring from one owner to another owner. And typically where people don't want the overhead of having to log onto a system and put stuff into a centrally administered database or system. And a good example of this is a system called TradeLens that we're working on collaboratively with Maersk, the big shipping container company. And this is a system that handles all the bills of lading, all the documentation that goes with a boat full of shipping containers as it goes into a port. There's customs, there's duties, there's transfer of money, there's legal transfers. The whole load of documents have to be handed over. And traditionally, these have been literally a big wad of paper that's handed over physically as the boat comes ashore. This is now done through blockchain. And as the boat is loaded, as the transactions between who's going to buy the stuff when it arrives at port take place during the journey, all that stuff's committed to the blockchain. So at the point where it hits the port, they can just look down the blockchain and say, right, okay, we know exactly what's going to happen. All those documents are in place. Yep, everything's okay. You're good to go. And we can start unloading the boat. And it's really that loose chain of trust where people don't, it's not so much they don't trust each other, but they don't need to have full trust of the next person down the chain. But then if you need to find out what happened, you can look along the chain, track down the blockchain and sort of pull the string tight and see exactly what happened. So those are the places where blockchain really is earning its living now.
Brilliant. Thanks, Andy. And I can tell you from bitter experience in our own commodities trading business that is a serious pain point. And I dearly hope that one is one that you can resolve very quickly for us. So actually a question now to all of our winners. So, now that you've won, you'll all be receiving that £12,000 prize money to build your business. And, whoever wants to take this question first, just pop your hand up. But, what's your plan, with that cash to progress your business? What's the next step for you to grow? So, Alexander.
Hi, yeah. So as a filmmaking and sort of socially responsible production company, we'll be using the money to invest in new equipment and invest in future film projects, because that's an issue that we face as filmmakers, is getting that initial investment to get our films shown to a decent enough standard. So yeah, that's what we'll be putting into, mostly cameras, lenses, audio equipment, and in new projects.
Great. And I think, Rijul, did you also have an answer on this one?
Yes. Actually, these £12,000 would help me. I recently received the startup visa from the university. Like, I have applied for it, and this would really help me with the manufacturing process and cover up all my costs for at least 1 year. And hopefully, if it succeeds, my business would be independent by the end of the first year. So that's brilliant. And the amount is also really big. So that's really great.
Diego, do you have a brief comment on where next with the money?
Yes. Well, with the money, we expect to invest in our manufacturing process. So that would allow us to start leveraging a consortium of customers, well, especially growers. And well, from that, we'll see how it goes.
Exactly. And Mugisha, Samuel, can I call you Samuel?
Yes,
Samuel,
please.
you won the social category, and it's a fantastic idea around health. What's your plan for the money that you've won?
Thank you. So we have developed a minimum viable product already. We have the tools that we think are going to improve the efficiency and performance of nurses. So we are now going to use the money to run a pilot at one of the referral hospitals here in Uganda. Throughout the pilot, we hope that more than 50 nurses and more than 500 patients will benefit from the technologies we are building. So this will be a huge boost to us.
Fantastic. I think another question is just popped up on the Zoom group chat. Vikas, do you want to pick that question up?
Sure. A question from Fiona Devine for all of our winners today, and in fact all of our guests today, which is, how have you managed the current crisis around the pandemic with your business and with your work? So whoever wants to take that, please put your hand up and we'll come to you. So Andy.
I've been quite used to working at home on and off for the last 20 years. IBM has been very supportive and encouraging of people having a day or two working from home. So that's very natural. So I've got my setup here with my multiple screens and my comfy chair and so on. So when the lockdown first happened, and we were sort of locked down by our employer about 2 weeks before the national lockdown happened, it just seemed like, great, no commuting. I've got all that extra time. But then after a while, it sort of started to wear a bit thin, and I was thinking, I'm working 12-hour days here, and it's getting quite tiring. So I really had to step back and sort of take stock of this and thinking, yeah, this is actually how the new work life is going to be. And so started going to work a bit later and coming home a bit earlier, and it's been pretty good apart from that. That initial sort of bumpy start. There's far too many video conferences though, getting video conference fatigue. Some days I just on video conferences all day. Other days I can spend some time actually doing some real work, which is very welcome. And I live here on the Isle of Wight, so it's a lovely environment. You can go out for a run at lunchtime, and life is good. I think I've adapted quite well to the new normal.
You are a very large multinational, Andy. And clearly, a lot of our graduates will want to get employed in some of those very large companies, and there may be some challenges there. So supporting startups and SMEs to grow is really where the opportunities are going to be for a lot of our graduates in terms of employment. Do you think that there is going to be that there will be those sorts of opportunities in your industry sector? So, Andy, I think you're muted.
Yes, I was on mute. Yeah, I think there are. I mean, we spent quite a lot of time sitting around thinking what's the new normal going to look like, and I think things are pretty rough for most small businesses at the moment. But I think the excitement comes is all the opportunities for new things when we start to return to the new normal. Just as an example, I spent time working with a community effort to print 3D print visors for the National Health Service during the lockdown. So we've been printing those bits. And that was a small team that came together, very, very short space of time to create these visors, which are just, people, the NHS were begging for them. They couldn't get the official supplies through. So there's going to be opportunities for businesses to start up like that one, supplying things which we didn't know we needed before, which is going to create a need, and the small agile organizations that can turn on a dime and create something new very quickly are going to be the ones who win here. So I think great opportunities for startups.
Yeah, that's often what they say, that it's the small organizations that can move very quickly and change to reflect the changing economic environment, that really will be able to make a difference in these new times. Scott, can I ask you, because I know your business is all around AI and the training of medical professionals. Do you think that for you the pandemic might offer interesting opportunities for you?
Yeah, thanks, Lynn. So absolutely, whilst it's a tough time for many organizations, clearly, and we're no different, it is a positive time for certain kinds of organizations. Andy talked about the opportunities in what will be the new normal. And remote training is definitely one of those. We've been able to very quickly adapt actually to the lockdown measures coming in because we're quite small, and actually ramp up our efforts to support healthcare professionals with training on the front line. So an example is we recently secured some funding from Innovate UK for the emergency COVID response, where we will actually be building COVID-19 virtual humans to train healthcare professionals. So I think there's definitely opportunity, and those who can adapt, of course, it's the classic, those who will adapt will survive. So there's definitely positives, and it's about perseverance, I think.
Vikas, do you have a question that you've been burning to ask of the winners?
Yeah, I think for me, one thing that's really fascinated me about all these businesses, and it's something that is wonderful to see more and more of it. So many businesses that we're seeing have a double bottom line. There's obviously an excellent and successful business opportunity, but you also really want to make a difference to the world with what you're doing too. And so I guess a question for all the winners, and again, feel free to chime in when you wish, is what does success look like for you? What is that vision of success that you have for your business? So I'm not sure who wants to come in first with that. Nikhil.
Success to me is 5 years down the line, if I can get 1 billion people playing my games when they're feeling stressed and actually feeling real relief and just coming back again and again and leaving emails saying, well, this has changed my life. And that's such a great vision. And that's something I really want to chase.
Great. And what about for you, Samuel? I think particularly with the work that you're doing, I'd love to hear your perspectives. In fact, I'd love to hear all the winners' perspectives on this one, because that definition of success is so critical. So so Samuel, what does success look like for you with this business?
Yes, success to me is improving the outcomes of in patients, especially in Africa. And that is through empowering the nurses. So if we can improve the outcomes, I want to go to the ward and see nurses who are happy, who are not burnt out, and who are using all our tools and the services we shall offer them, and saving more lives and really good patient outcomes, especially for the admitted patients.
Great, that's superb. And then what about for you, Alexander?
I think for us, it's kind of hard to measure it. Obviously, we want to make enough profit to be able to continue making projects and to support ourselves. But the key for us is to get as wide an audience as possible, to create as much social change, and to represent as many underrepresented people as we can, whether that's in the northwest of England, nationally, and hopefully at some stage internationally.
And then, wonderful. What about for you, Rijul, in terms of your business? What does success mean for you? Because I also know that your business has a social mission attached to it too.
Yes, actually, success for me would be more of actually not just financial gain, but also environmental gain. So my product is ready meals, obviously, and with the current situation and how people perceive how ready meals are. I want to change that image. Plus, I want to make a difference in how we act, how making people aware what we eat, how does it affect the environment, like if you're killing animals and things like that. So I really want, like, I want my company to be the pinnacle of eco-friendliness and defining green dish. Sorry, not green dishes. Defining something. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, man. Listen, you're still feeling the heady winds of success. So don't worry about that. It's one of those things. And what about for you, Diego? What does success look like for you?
Well, for us in general, I think considering the current climate change and the current food security challenges, it's not just a matter of financial goals. It's more about trying to tackle that food security issue. At least to me, success is being able to put a little grain of salt to that issue, because it's a big issue. And I think through technology, we can tackle this issue, but it's not going to be just one technology. It's going to be a collaborative effort.
Great. I think it's really inspiring to see the future in such good hands, actually, with the messages that we've got. And also just one little reflection. I remember kind of early in my own journey when I started doing events. And one of the most common worries you have doing any kind of speech or response is sometimes, you'll be thinking through your answer, and then halfway through the answer, you're like, I don't know what I was going to say. But one tip that I was given, which is one of the most profoundly important tips I've ever had in my life, is, apart from you, no one knows what you're about to say. So if that ever happens, just style it out. So I'd like to just pass over to Lynn for our next question.
Yeah, I'm quite sure that watching today on the Facebook stream will be students who didn't enter but might be thinking of entering. What advice would you have for students? Or I remember the competition is open to recent graduates within 3 years of graduating. So what advice would you have for people thinking about entering Venture Further 2021? What would be your advice? And anybody have any thoughts on that? Alex?
Yeah, I think my advice would be that no matter what sort of stage of the process you are, as long as you have an idea, the whole process helped us to build our project and to understand how we're going to go forward financially as well as creatively. And knowing that the idea that you have originally isn't necessarily the idea that you come out with at the end of it. So whatever point you're at with an idea, I recommend entering Venture Further just to get some advice and to help build your project as you go.
Yeah, no, that's great. Nikhil?
I was burning to answer this question. So I applied to Venture Further last year and didn't win. And so my main advice is, like, if you didn't win this time, or if you want to apply for Venture Further, just do it again and again and again. Because even when you do it the first time, you learn so much on what to pivot and what to do. So in my case, initially we came up with a medical device idea. Then after the Venture Further last year, they gave us advice that you need more business validation, not technology validation. That caused us to pivot and do more quick online validation. And so my advice is, like, firstly, just to do it again and again. And second, validate business case more than the technology, at least in the first stages.
Yeah.
And don't perfect the technology.
Rachel?
Yeah, I would definitely advise everyone to try and enter Venture Further. I also tried last year, and I did my master's in innovation management and entrepreneurship. And we had a course, and we tried to actually come up with a business plan. But when you actually submit a business plan for the course, and while you do it for an actual business, there is a lot of difference in it. So I would say the process of Venture Further, especially how it has been this year, has been so helpful for us. And all the sessions which Ellie and Laura and the Masood Enterprise Center team has actually organized has been really, really helpful for us. So I would definitely advise everyone to participate in it. It will help you a lot in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, Samuel, I think you had your hand up. Did you have a point on this?
Yes, sure. Yeah, I would advise the students to take off some time and get out of the building. That's what I would call it. If you have an idea, maybe around healthcare, it benefits a lot to move out and meet those people. Go out and meet your target audience and learn as much as you can from them. That helps so much to understand what you're working on.
Great. So, Vikas, I think you're going to pick it up now.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. That's all we've got time for on the questions. We had so many more that came in, and hopefully over the course of coming weeks, the Masood team will put together maybe a series of blogs or podcasts with our winners where we can answer all those questions that have come in. And I hope you've had a fantastic afternoon with us today. It's been a real pleasure to host it online in the virtual Whitworth Hall. And I look forward to hearing about all the finalists, seeing how they progress, and then maybe having some of them join us for the real in Whitworth Hall event, perhaps next time round.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vikas. You have been a fantastic host. Our speakers, Scott, thank you for bringing the stories of being a previous winner of Venture Further. Andy, you are always an amazing speaker. IBM are very lucky to have you working with them and for them. We really do value. And to the winners as well, you are fantastic. I'm sure there's lots more questions, but we have an ongoing relationship with you now. Once you win Venture Further, you are, if you like, connected to us, and we want to help and support you as you move your businesses forward. So Vikas, are we okay now to say goodbye, good evening, and allow everyone to go and get some food and maybe have a celebratory drink?
Absolutely.
And enjoy the evening.
Great. Now, thank you very much, Lynn, and thank you to the entire team at the Masood Enterprise Centre as well for actually organising this fantastic virtual event. It's been really, really good fun, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the evening, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, the media services team have been fantastic, and Ellie, you have done an amazing job. Thank you so much to everyone. Take care and good evening.